What's going on, everyone? Juicebags here, and welcome back to some Dungeon Defenders 2 and another Defense Spotlight. Today we're going to be talking about the kind of unspoken MVP of DD2, and that is, without a doubt, the Mystic's Obelisk. The Obelisk can do so many things. Now, I'm not going to really be talking about the cool little flamethrower aspect of the Obelisk. Of course, the Obelisk does make a wonderful makeshift wall, and at max appeasement, the Obelisk will turn into a flamethrower, which will do damage to the enemies within range. We're going to be focusing more on the Obelisk as an overall defense when not using the hero actively. And to be honest, if you have a Mystic, every single map that you do should have an Obelisk on it. Now, first things first, the Obelisk, when you're looking at the tooltip, it can be a little bit confusing. If we look, we see smite rate, once per second, crit chance, crit damage, fire range, fire damage, fire rate, and smite damage. Now, the smite rate is a map-wide attack that hits once per second, and that's the little lightning bolts that you see going off of the Obelisk. Now, the fire range, fire damage, and fire rate is only referring to when you're playing the Mystic actively and your Obelisk turns into that flamethrower when you're at max appeasement. Now, as you can see at the very bottom, the smite damage is considerable on the Obelisk, and just that alone is well worth laying it down. There isn't too many maps that you'll run where if you put an Obelisk down at the beginning of the map, it won't have the most damage done of any defense on the map. Very frequently, we'll go over the 2 billion damage mark, and it will go over that mark really quickly. In fact, on some maps, you can get over 1 billion damage just within like a wave to a wave and a half, as the Obelisk just wrecks it up with map-wide coverage. Now, every time you upgrade the Obelisk, you're giving it an additional ability. If you upgrade the Obelisk once, then the Obelisk has a chance of putting a buff and shield on you as a hero. This buff will increase your hero damage and ability power, which means it is effective for any hero and only lasts for a few seconds, however, turns you into quite the machine for that few seconds that it's active. This shield will also provide some damage absorption while the bubble is on you itself. Now, if you continue to upgrade the Obelisk, you then get things like a polymorph, where it will randomly turn an enemy into a snake, a crowd control bubble that launches the enemy into the air, similar as to the Mystic Wall does, and it has the chance of causing confuse on an enemy, just like Call to Madness will. So altogether, the Obelisk is an amazing utility defense, which, like I said, in my opinion, really belongs on every single map if you have the Mystic. Without a doubt, one of the kind of the secret gems that not everyone uses and everyone should be using if you are a Mystic owner. Now, taking a look at the Obelisk shards, there's a few different options here. First off, a regular ungilded defense rate gets you down to the smite cap. So, as we see, the smite rate is 1.95 seconds. If we go ahead and just pop in a regular old defense rate, no gilding required, it gets us down to the max. Now, the smite damage at 3 mil a pop is excessive, and I'm stacking on that opportunity by also using all of the unique shards, or unique mods. Moving through the rest of the shards, though, 1 defense rate will get the job done. Destruction is kind of a no-brainer, since I am looking to get some massive damage out of my Obelisk. And then the third that I personally use is Empowering Blasphemy. Empowering Blasphemy will increase the hero stat boost to 66% and increases the polymorph duration by 5 seconds. So when it turns an enemy into a snake, this increases that duration. But the main thing is, for me, as it increases that stat boost. Now, if you decided to not go so much with the damage and you wanted to focus more on utility, you could add in Obelisk Shield. Obelisk Shield absorption increases to 70%. Now, an important note here, if you gild an Obelisk Shield and you use that as a shard, then the Obelisk bubble makes you 100% immune to all damage while it's active. Crazy, crazy good, particularly if you are a melee player. Now, moving on over to the mods, since we do only have the ability to put down one without having multiple mystics, I'm taking advantage of all of the unique mods. So I've got unique power servo, unique critical servo, and unique crit damage servo. So my Obelisk has got a 53.44% crit chance for 71.22% crit damage, and it's hitting for 3 mil a pop, non-crit. So if we watch it just go to town on these dummies, we see the 5.4 mils popping off pretty regularly. Remember, this is map-wide range, and it's once per second. So there is no other defense really that's quite as clutch as the Obelisk. If something sneaks by and the mob count is low, there's a good chance the Obelisk just may save the day for you. Taking a look at the Ascension for the Obelisk user, this is a standard defense, so you would follow the basic builder Ascension rules, going into defense crit chance first and defense crit damage second. Nothing else matters for the Obelisk. You've got the range down here. The range is just referring to that flamethrower damage. As you see, I've got it maxed out as well, as I do have everything maxed out in the utility category. However, just using it for just the smite damage, it would be in your best interest to leave the range gambit completely off, as that is only affecting the flamethrower. Now on the defense category, you will want that defense speed, so first things first, get the defense speed up, and then move right on into the Obelisk damage. So hopefully this helps everyone understand how to build their Obelisk, and oh my gosh, it's just too good. I mentioned it earlier, it can be used as a makeshift wall. You're not going to get as much damage out of it, but if you go with a totem with vampiric empowerment on it and destruction, you can still get real nice damage out of it, and then have something that doesn't have aggro like a wall does, but you can use it to block a lane, and it has just a ton of health. As you see here, with just a medallion on it, it's over 2.1 million health, which is more than enough for me, and I do use them quite frequently where I'm worried that something might sneak by. So for example, if this is the lane, the Obelisk Smite, of course, is map wide, so you can put it anywhere. Why not pop it right in the middle of the lane and use it as kind of a makeshift wall, keeping enemies from being able to pass. So thank you very much for watching. If you have any questions regarding the Obelisk, please let me know in the comments below, and I will do my best to get them answered. So thank you once again, and I will see you next time around. Take it easy.